What's up, my friends? So in an effort to be always on the pursuit of becoming the best version of myself and, really sharing that with other people, a lot of that comes with really finding the truth of many matters. So I like to play this game myself that I want to invite you to play with me. It's just called What If? So basically I just ask myself a series of questions, kind of questioning what I've been told to see maybe there's something I'm missing here. Maybe there's something incomplete. Maybe there's something in my brain that I've accepted as true that maybe just isn't true. So, I like to start by thinking, what if I'm more powerful than I think I am? What if our basis for science is slightly flawed? What if Newtonian physics, where we base much of our science off of, is just 1% off? And then every experiment that builds on that, every brick after that is just 1% off. So it starts off small, but eventually, what if we're very off? What if Darwinian theory of survival of the fittest isn't true? What if Darwinian theory of survival of the fittest isn't true for just humans? What if we are different than other animals because of our consciousness, that a lot of these principles that we apply to other animals don't apply to us? Maybe. What if it's actually those who collaborate survive? What if it's, looking at the civilizations that thrived and survived were collaborators, not competitors? What if everything we believe as it relates to nutrition is just a little bit off, or maybe way off? What if we are capable of creating anything we want in the world simply by using our own mind, our own efforts, our own hands? Our mind, our body, and our hands, our spirit, what we have. What if? What if the whole idea of germ theory, that nature is dirty and there's lots of bad bacteria and fungus and viruses out there that are here to hurt us? What if they're actually here to support us? And what if it's those challenges from the natural world that actually make us a strong, healthy, vibrant human being? What if? What if our microbiome, which is actually filled with lots of bacteria, and our body filled with fungus and viruses at all times, what if we actually need those to survive, and by wiping them out with things like hand sanitizer or, antibiotics, what if that's actually doing more harm than good in the long term? What if it's actually doing good? What if germ theory is correct and these bad bacteria and viruses are actually out to get us, and we do need to eliminate them at all costs? But then why would nature create these, when before humans, nature seemed to be very symbiotic in all relationships? Why is it that the soils without microbes like fungus and bacteria and worms and other microorganisms, why is it that soils depleted of these microorganisms are less healthy and produce less vibrant food, less of a bounty? And why is it that when we often look at a human gut that is depleted of microorganisms, that person is generally less healthy, has less of an immune system? And what if the internet, which is one of the most powerful tools, could also be part of our own downfall, our own inability to get out of a stress response by being so connected, so narrowly focused, really activating that sympathetic nervous system? What if the one tool that liberates us and allows us to educate ourselves is also the thing that's hindering us? What if the water we're drinking is so filled with toxic chemicals that our body can't even recognize water in a natural state, that we don't even like the taste of natural water because we're so accustomed to something else. And what if the food that we're eating is so filled with preservatives and sugar and processed salt, not natural sea salt, and trans fats and chemicals and antibiotics that are so targeted to our taste buds, the fats, the sugar, the salt? What if we're so addicted to those that we then get sick from actually eating healthy food because our gut can't handle it, our body can't handle it? So used to this flavorful Oreo, it's the first thing that pops into my mind. And what if a lot of these people selling us things are actually really just selling us for the money and not to help us? What if I'm doing that? Do I do that? So these are just questions, I like to ask myself, keep myself honest, make sure that I'm looking at things from every side of the coin. Is money a bad thing? Is money a good thing? Is money a neutral thing? Is money just an exchange of energy? Or is it the root of all evil? Does money cause people to do bad things? Or does money free people because they don't have to trade sheep or wood or resources? They don't have to carry these heavy resources with them to barter or trade. We now have a mutual piece of energy that we can exchange. You receive a massage, you give money. You give a massage, you receive money. You receive food, you give money. What if money isn't a bad thing? What if the way we view money is a bad thing? What if the way I view money is a bad thing? Just questions. Interesting questions. And what if I have the power of choice to decide, how do I want to absorb this information? What if I have the power of choice to decide what I believe to be true, not what someone tells me to be true? What if we start teaching our kids how to think, not what to think? What if we start teaching our children how to listen to their inner voice and their intuition, not bog it down by telling them what to think, and stimulating them by throwing a screen in front of their face every time they're crying? What if we start teaching people how to deal with emotions that may be unfavorable rather than suppressing them? What if we teach people how to take care of their bodies to prevent injury and illness rather than covering up the symptoms when they arise? What if many doctors are really just professional drug dealers that write out prescriptions to pharmaceuticals? What if we shifted that to having doctors be educators, teaching people how to live a healthy lifestyle? What if we still had both and we really utilize the best of preventative care along with Western medicine for acute injuries, acute illnesses, and pain relief? What if we blended the two together? What if things weren't so black and white? What if it wasn't you're on this side, you're on this side? What if you could be somewhere in the middle? What if there's a really untapped gray area of health, of politics, of life, of lifestyle, of how we're supposed to live? What if we're not supposed to just go to high school, get good grades, go to college, get a job, get a master's if we need to, just to rank up in the corporate world? What if there is another way? What if it's not a bad thing either? What if the structure we have right now is actually good because it provides structure, provides safety? But what if that in and of itself is preventing people from taking risks, from actually pursuing what they want to, because they're told what they should and what's safe and what's smart? What if our entire perception of what is right and what is wrong isn't so honed in? What if it's a little off? What if our own biases are preventing us from moving forward, our own mindset? What if the beliefs that we chose to accept or were told to accept and then accepted ourselves don't have a strong foundation? What if they're not true? What if there's someone else's thoughts? What if the thoughts in our head are actually someone else's thoughts that we've accepted as our own? And so that voice in our head that we're listening to actually isn't our own. It's actually someone else's voice, or a combination of people's voices. Parents' voices, teachers, doctors, social media influencers. What if we took more time to disconnect from all the input that we face in our world? Constant news, and social media, and just constant things going in our ears and in our eyes. What if we took more time to slow down and step back? What if we taught people the importance of silence, the importance of stillness, the importance of stepping back, and not that you always need to be improving and growing and doing? What if we put value on being just as much as we put value on doing and accomplishing? What would that society look like? What if rather than burying people with different opinions than us, what if we listen to them? And not just listen to be polite, but listen to see if there's anything we can glean from that different opinion, that different culture, that different way of being, a different way of doing. What if we tried to find the good in every person, regardless if they have a different belief system than us, regardless if they come from a different class system than us, regardless if they look different than us, sound different than us, whatever? What if we could focus on finding the good in people, rather than looking to tear people down that are different? What if we focus on unity and collaboration rather than competition? What if we focused on love and compassion and presence and connecting with nature, starting with our children? How would that next generation look? What if we focused on removing chemicals from agriculture? What if we continued to put chemicals in agriculture? How would our food change over time? How would our soil change over time? How would our human body change over time? How do we adapt to either of those? How would it look if we continued to ask ourselves these questions? What if we all ask ourselves these questions? What if we all consider that we may be wrong about what we believe in? What if I consider that what I believe in to be wrong? What if I consider that every single thing, 100% of what I believe in, could be wrong or slightly misguided? What if I believe that a good portion of what I believe in is not my own thoughts? What if I took the time to really sit down with myself and be still and dive into these uncomfortable areas of my own self to figure out what I feel to be true? What if we all did that more often? What if we all questioned ourselves and questioned the information coming in without just accepting it? Either because it has the scientific stamp of approval or because someone that we respect said it? What if we questioned everything? But not in a negative way, just in a truth-seeking way. Not in a way to tear someone down for telling them that they're wrong, they're not thinking right, but maybe just as a way of better improving ourselves, to take what works for us and what we believe to be true and leaving the rest. What if there are multiple ways that science can be done, and we've only honed in on one and deemed that the most glorious version? But what if that's incomplete? And what if there are other versions out there that could be better for certain problems? Or many problems, or all problems, or maybe even just a few? At the end of the day, what if I believe that my mission here is to be myself, authentically and unapologetically? What if my purpose is to learn how to be the best version of myself and help others do the same, to make our planet healthier, to make our humans healthier, our animals healthier, our microorganisms healthier, to improve the quality of life for every living being? What if my purpose is not to subscribe to any one philosophy or way of thinking, but rather combining all of them into one masterpiece, taking all the strongest aspects of one and forming it into my own belief system? And then what if I can share that belief system and others can take parts of that condensed and combined belief system to form an even better one? What if we're all just stepping stones to help each other step up, and rather than pushing each other down to get to the top, we're building with each other to get there? What if we lead with love and compassion and collaboration rather than competition? And what if you asked yourself these questions more often? What if I asked myself these questions more often? What if we asked ourselves these questions more often? I hope we do. Thanks for playing.